excited to have this concert for you guys tonight. This has been a long road, a long journey to get here, and these kids are going to throw down some wicked beats. Those are some good terms for you to learn for music. So tonight is a steel band concert. They've been doing an amazing job. In total, this whole year, they have learned about 26 songs, which my goal, just starting this for the first year, was like 3 or 4. So they have far exceeded everything. And so tonight's going to be a tiny bit from the beginning of the year, just 1 or 2 pieces, and then mostly everything from the second half of the year. And so, without further ado, we're going to have some fun tonight. So don't be afraid to get up, dance. Like if the music is moving you, like have some fun. Jesse, you too. Okay, all right. Well, we're going to go ahead and get started with some introductions and a unique little style. So, Caleb, hit it. Our drummer is Caleb Fewer. Our engine room, the back of the band, Ellie Mueller, Kate Mount, Henry Brenner, Rebecca Siegel, and Kendall Cummings. Our basses, Evan Allen, Ryan Matarese, and Jessica Holman. Isn't this hilarious? Oh my gosh. Okay, this was all their idea. Okay? Our cellos, Dalton Keiser and Billy Holdry. Our double seconds, we got Aubrey Rickard, Zach Newell, Zach Price, and Abby Dennenfelder. And our leads, Patty Goins, Tyler Eddy, Lindsay Hatcher, Abby Jones, Grace Custer, Abby Price, Charles Price, and Jess Hunley. And also Cameron Cummings. Now I'm really excited about our special guest this evening. Our guest this evening comes from Akron, Ohio. He's been a great mentor of mine to kind of help me get started. He's actually the one that 10 years ago told me everything about this because I had no clue. He is a senior lecturer of music education at the University of Akron and the artistic director of the University of Akron Steel Band. Put your hands together for Matt Dudak. a perfect opportunity this year to do a collaboration with Coldwater High School. And we got to go down there, they treated us, and we got to have a little collaboration where we had a little bit of a battle of the bands, as you can tell from this, like an old West Side Story, but it was a fantastic opportunity. We learned from them, they learned from us, and then at the end, we actually played a piece together where we combined steel bands. And we're going to play for you that piece. And that's going to be Sunset by Len Luxie Sharp. Check. All right, there we go. There's two notches. Okay, now we're going to take a little step back to when we went to Solon Ensemble at the beginning of the year. We were one of the only bands or steel bands in Northwest Ohio that took the entire ensemble to solo ensemble. This was the first time, obviously, that we've been there, and we participated in Class C, and they received a superior rating from the judge. So let's give a round of applause for that. So this is Just a Moment Ago by Joel Smalls. Now moving to a little bit of some pop music. That is one of the most diverse things about a group like this, is that it can play any kind of style of music. All right? And just in case, let's take a little moment to kind of introduce the sections of the actual steel band, since this is still relatively new to us. In the front right here, right in raise your hand if you're a lead player. These ones up here. These are the lead players. They play one single pan, and all of the notes are inside of them. They mainly play the melodies. They'll play some harmonies as we go along, but all the melodies kind of driven from right here. On the sides, over here on my left and your right, or actually both of them, for that matter, these are called seconds. So we have double tenors over on that side. They kind of double the melody, but then again, they also can kind of do some strumming as well. They're kind of like playing some of the chords in the background of that. All right. In the middle, right here, raise your hand, cellos. These are called triple cellos. They are 3 guitars. I'm sorry, no, not 3 guitars. Whoops.
Triple guitar, triple cello, same thing.
That's the thank you. Thank you very much from the expert. Okay, good. 5 points.
What?
5 points. 3 points.
I'll give you 3.
3 points. All right.
What are you up to, 15, 18?
I'm up to 18 now. All right. The goal is to get to 25 by the end of the concert, so you open help with this. But the triple guitar, the triple cellos in the back, they are 3 pans, and they kind of play some strumming patterns too, much like an electric guitar would play in a rock band. In the actual sides, basses, go ahead and raise your hands.
That's me.
All right, that's it. All right. They are playing 655-gallon drums, and they are playing all the bass drums all the way wrapped around them. Doubling that is Dessa clear on the side. Say hi, Dessa. She's playing bass guitar, and she's joining us up there. The heartbeat of the actual steel band comes from the center and the back. We have two sections here. We have the engine room, which is clear in the back. Raise your hand, engine room. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right. Some enthusiasm in the engine room. I love it. But they're the ones playing the congas, the bongos, the shakers, any kind of scratch or rattle kind of thing to kind of add to it, to kind of flavor. And then in the middle right here, we have the drum set that kind of provides the beat for us. Right, but that kind of mixed up, and then that forms a steel band. So we're going to play for you a pop tune. This is "Don't You Forget About Me" from the movie The Breakfast Club. that's a fun tune. Oh, man, I appreciate the end of the movie. Nice job, guys, bridging up there for that. We're going to move on to next song, but before I do, we're doing a little bit of a pan change here. On Tuesday, we had the privilege, it was a very long day, and I think probably one of the best meals we've ever had as a group. If you like waiting for 2.5 hours for bread. But anyway, it's all good, it's all good. But we had the privilege of being selected to go to Columbus, Ohio on Tuesday, where we went down to the Rhodes State Office Tower, and for the Ohio Governor's Youth Art Exhibit. We played in the lobby. There's a couple of pictures of us in the lobby up there, and we performed for about 1 hour and 20 minutes in the lobby down there. All the state senators, legislatures, they are all there, and many of them were walking by and seeing us. In the top left, on the left-hand side, you can see the picture. Our representative, Roy Klopfenstein, actually came down to come see us. He saw us earlier when we played at Vanish for the All Boards dinner and wanted to come down and see us. So it was a pretty cool experience for that. So let's give a round of applause for doing that. We're going to move on to our next song. This is Soul Sauce. This is a kind of a Latin kind of cha-cha. So once again, I mean, my wife says I can't dance, but you know what? It's in me somehow for that, right? Feel free, right? This is going to feature a wide, he's like, yeah, he should stop. This is going to feature a wide variety of soloists. Leads, we have Lindsay Hatcher, Tyler Eddy, Abby Jones, Grace Custer, Abby Price, Charles Price. They're going to be doing some solos on the lead pan. Then we're also going to be featuring Lindsay Hatcher on the alto sax, and steel drums. Let's find out if that's awesome. It is. In addition, we're going to have Grace Custer kind of throw down some cool Latin beats on the timbales, and then finish up with Caleb doing a little drum set solo. So here is Soul Sauce. 10 minutes, so get up, stretch your legs a little bit, do a little scene change, and then we'll be back here in about 10 minutes, guys.
be here. It's wonderful seeing your children grow and your non-blood children, grow as well. Mike came to me, I guess he said it was 10 years ago, when he literally opened a closet at a middle school and found steel drums that hadn't been used in like 10 years. And he did a kind of a brave thing, I think. I give him a lot of credit because he admitted he didn't know anything about these instruments. So he went to the University of Akron, knew we had a pretty good program, a historical program, and he came to me and said, what do I do? And so we sat down and looked at the instruments, and he created a huge program at that school, which is still going on, and then of course came here and has this in like a year, less than a year? June or something? It's kind of astounding to me because usually when you go hear a first year steel band, it's like yikes, beating, hitting hard, and exciting, a lot of energy, but like not really playing with great technique. They're playing kind of cheesy music, music in The Little Mermaid or something like that. Which is nothing against that kind of music, but there's more sophisticated music written for this instrument. I think a lot of the program today, about half of it at least, is written for steel band, whereas some of the other stuff, obviously Nirvana, I don't think Kurt Cobain and the guys ever realized he could do this. I guess, it's a lame joke, but it's heavy metal, right? Especially the basses. I'll be here all night. So, came in this afternoon not knowing what to expect, and right off the bat, like everything sounded really, really good. So I said, well, it could be one of three things. It's the instruments built by Kyle Dunleavy. It could be the skill of the band director. It could be the quality of the student. Really, I think it's. You want to? I would say it's all three, but you really want to vote?
Nope.
5 points for that decision. So, -5 for letting him do that. So, we got together this afternoon, played a little bit, and talked a little about the place where this instrument comes from. Part of my responsibility and my charge from Dr. Cliff Alexis, who built my pans and built all the drums at the University of Akron. He built pans at Dover High School, at New Philly. They were all over Ohio and all over the country. And Cliff, as my mentor, and he's since passed on, it's my job to make sure that that this instrument, we talked about this today, comes from Trinidad and Tobago, and not Jamaica, not Puerto Rico, not Mexico, not Japan, not Hawaii. But you do see some of these instruments on other islands in the Caribbean. But Trinidad and Tobago is a very proud instrument for them. It's a national instrument. If you have a $20 bill from Trinidad, there's literally a set of cello pans printed on the back of the $20 bill. So it's a source of national pride. Trinidadians are some of the most amazing people in the world. It's an amazing melting pot of people from Africa, from Europe, from Asia, as well as India, all coming together on a very small island. I think it's smaller than the state of Ohio. So it's really important that you leave here knowing that. I'll sleep tonight. Let alone we're going to play some great music. We're going to move on to, what is it, summertime? Okay, so summertime is, we're not going to sing, even though this is from an opera. Summertime is a classic aria from the opera Porgy and Bess by George Gershwin. And this is arranged by a former student, Josh Quillen, who is now touring the world in a group called So Percussion. And it's a percussion quartet. And he runs the steel band programs at NYU and at Princeton University. And he's, as I mentioned, from Dover, Ohio. And he's arranged a lot of stuff. He's a lot of good stuff for our bands. And we're going to do his version of Summertime. So that actually, that arrangement is basically one that we used to play on gigs, that he just wrote it down. So he got to it before we did. But very cool. So Mike, are we talking about the next one? Or what is it? Okay, so this next tune called Lampin'. Lampin's kind of hanging out with your friends, driving around, cruising. And somebody asked a question today about like how do I compose, what goes through my mind. And this song is actually, I work with a middle school steel band in Akron called Miller South Steel Band at the Miller South School for the Visual and Performing Arts. It's an arts magnet school, 4th through 8th grade, and they declare an interest area. So there's like orchestra, band, dance, theater, visual art, vocal, piano. I think that's it. And I had a violist in that band who played drum set, and he would just sit down at the drum set and I'm like, just play something cool. So he played this cool little groove, and I basically built this whole kind of groove on the top of that drum set part, and then came up with the melody. And it's a very minimalistic accompaniment, not much going on. And a friend of mine heard a band rehearsing it, and he came over and he's like, I didn't know it was your song, and it sounded like a song that Cliff did, and that was like one of the biggest compliments ever in my life, because I love the way that Cliff arranged. And it's just a very bare bones kind of thing to it, and it has a kind of aggression, or not aggression, not the right word, but strength to it, because Cliff was a big person in many ways. And imagine you're a tuner, you're building steel drums all throughout your whole life. This arm is a regular arm. This arm is like, ugh. It's from throwing a hammer, it's huge. And so this is kind of inspired by Cliff and some of his music. This is also featured in our documentary we did called Hammer on Steel, which I think most of you or some of you watched. I do have some CDs and the DVD that I'll be selling after the concert, with all the proceeds go directly to the University of Akron Percussion Studio to help out, get instruments fixed, scholarship, that kind of thing, maintain our steel drums. And I have some of those, their CDs are $10, the DVD's $20. I don't really have change, and I can't take a credit card. But if you want to get something and you don't have that means to pay for it, you can go to uasteelband.com, where you can find all of our t-shirts and CDs and DVDs. There's even MP3s you can download. There's MP3s of a record, vinyl, that they did in the mid-'80s that you can download. A lot of great albums, the Christmas album, and t-shirts and stuff. So you can always go there, and you'll get it delivered in probably the next few days, because I'll be the one taking care of it. So without further ado, let's go on to Lampin'.
soloing on the phone. Good job, man. We're gonna play a favorite tune of ours. Well, at least mine, at least. Okay, I like it. That's all that matters. But this is one of those songs that make it to where it explains the majesty and beauty of the pan. I'm going to let Matt talk a little bit about Amazing Grace and his composition from another one of his students, Josh Quillen.
So Josh and I and two other students from the University of Akron went down to Trinidad to play in Panorama, which is like the Super Bowl of steel bands. All the bands compete in the small band category is 50 to 75 players. So the large band category is up to 140 players. And Josh and my friend Jeff, they both played in a band called Phase 2 Pan Groove, which is led by Len Boogsy Sharp, who wrote Sunset, tune we played earlier. These are a couple of Phase 2, Boogsy Sharp. These are people, if you're into steel drum music and you like this stuff, do a little Google search or YouTube, and you'll see some really great stuff. They're great bands. There's lots of other stuff too, but Boogs is one of my favorite, one of Josh's favorite. We were down there playing with, they were playing Phase 2, and they did a little concert of what they call bomb tunes, where they take pop tunes and stuff and do simple arrangements, and they did an arrangement of Amazing Grace that we still play today. If we have to play at church or something, or maybe a funeral or something, and it's just a great, really cool arrangement version that Boogsy did, and then Josh did his own adaptation of it in a very cool way. So let's dedicate this one to Dr. Clifford Alexis, because without him, none of this, we're not here today, because he really brought Pan to Northeast Ohio, and by way of the University of Akron Steel Band, as well as a bunch of other groups. So let's think about Cliff as we play Amazing Grace.
before we get to our ending piece, and I'm going to let Matt explain to us our panorama. He knows a lot more about it than I do, so I'm going to let him kind of explain what a panorama is. I kind of want to offer some thank yous, because this has been a huge project, very huge project, and it's 3 years in the making. And to getting to this point, first and foremost, I want to thank our Board of Education, our administration. Mr. Mendenhall is here and came tonight. Mr. Snyder was in a meeting but wanted to be here. But let's give them a round of applause for all of their support. I can truly say and believe that all the growth that we've had is because we have a very supportive administration who are really helping and building it. So it's very awesome to work here to get this growing. I'd like to thank the Van Wert County Foundation. If you don't know how this project kind of came through, I'll kind of give a little synopsis of it. 2 years ago, when I interviewed here, I said I wanted this, and they said, okay, well, how much? And I said, $35,000. That's kind of what I quoted them. Boy, was I wrong. Very, very wrong. And so I kind of did some stuff. Mr. Mendenhall suggested looking for some grants, and the Van Wert County Foundation actually awarded us $20,000 towards the project. Our band boosters have given $15,000 towards it, and then the school picked up the rest and everything else that we needed for almost a grand total of over $78,000 have been invested in this. It's incredible. In addition, in 3 weeks, because we have tremendous growth, I'm actually driving back out to Philadelphia in 3 weeks to pick up 6 more pans. We spent another $20,000 on getting more pans for expanding. So it's going to get better and better and better. It's amazing. Our band boosters have been amazing. Jackie Goen is our president. Ron Dan. Yeah, Ron, yeah. Ron Danfels are our vice president. Cheers. Mom, yeah, Mom. Okay. Aaron Sellers, our treasurer. Jen McGarvey, our secretary. And Christy Jones, our new treasurer aficionado for the next 27 years. Yay, Mom! Maybe a great round of applause. I'd like to throw a special shout out to Ms. Courtney Hughes because, and as much as I plan ahead and I'm really organized and I really am on top of everything, it's a complete lie. But about a week ago, was it a week ago? Yeah, it was 1 week ago. I asked Courtney, I said, hey, do you think you could get us some Steel Band shirts? And she looked at me and goes, when? In 3 days. And so, basically a week. And she did. And so what I expected to have them that was on Monday, and she gave it to us, and she got our shirts in 4 days. So she bailed me out. Thank you for that. Thank you very much. Yeah, next, while everyone playing pan has been taking the class, we have a group of people in the back that are joining the Steel Band in the back. And basically 2 weeks ago, I basically said, hey, would you mind come playing something that you've never played before and have never heard the pieces? And just jump in, and they did, and they've done a great job. Our engine room in the back, let's give them a round of applause. They're working their way up. They're working their feet. Next, I would love to thank Eric Burke. Eric, could you step out here for a second? If you didn't know there's a man back there, who's that man behind the curtain? No, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Minus 5 points. All right. I'm not getting my 25 points. Tonight's concert is actually being professionally recorded. So if you notice all the microphones that we have here, Eric is a pastor in our area, a good friend of Trinity Friends, helping us out with some sound. And I talked to him a couple weeks ago, and I said, hey, would you come in and help us record? And he gladly jumped on that and came on Tuesday, set everything up, and has been sound checking. So if you ever have any professional needs or anything with sound, that's the man to call. So Eric, thank you very much for everything you've done. Do you want to promise? this has been like I said, a long process. And as going through this whole thing, I've been blessed to have my family by my side and all these things. And so I love to, yay mom, band mom. You know, my wife Leanne and my kids have been through this, and my entire family, my in-laws, my adopted in-laws, you know, everyone's just been here to been supportive, and so you know, it's really a great thing to have a great family to help us out. So if you could give my family and our family an applause. Next, I would love to thank the students back here, because it is one thing to bring an idea, it is one thing to back here. No, it's one thing to bring an idea, it's one thing to fund an idea, but if you don't have students who buy into that idea and do this, then it's really nothing. And so I remember our very first time touching the pans and all this and you know, all of this and blah, blah, blah. And it was just amazing. Going from, remember, find an F. Yeah. And then really just playing quarter notes. Here's a chord. Now here's the fourth. I mean, remember that? Go back to the chords. And then going to this. And so, you know, it's been absolutely amazing that these kids are picking up faster than I ever had dreamed of. So if you could help us give us a monstrous applause for these kids up here. It's been a true honor knowing Matt for at least the past 15 years. Whenever I was a student at the University of Akron, we kind of knew each other. We had some same friends and former students and colleagues and my former roommates. You know, all that it's been great. And even throughout anything, even the past couple of years and starting this, I remember calling him 3 years ago and saying, I'm moving out here and doing this, and he's always been there. He's always been the one, the helping hand to come out, and then to come out here really is monumentous in my opinion. A true mentor in my study and in my teaching. I mean, literally, whenever I first started, I would call him and say, what do I do? Do this. Okay, that didn't work. Now what do I do? I mean, the amount of times I called him and leaned on him, and he really had, and this has been an absolute pleasure. Students, I hope you have enjoyed the wonderful expert that we have here. If you could all give that round back to the applause. Now that I let Dennis Bobby talk about the final piece that we're going to play, it is. Oh, no. Hey, what's up there? Hang on. There it is! Yeah! Missed one slide. Oh,
-5. So I don't know, I know you thanked your family, but I think we need to thank all of you, your families of these students. They're here with your support. It's been fantastic. So give it up for your parents out there, huh? If you like this music, there's a couple of options. You can pursue it on the internet. You can encourage more people to play. Don't suggest songs, though. That's super annoying. I get all kinds of crazy songs. Oh, you should do this. You know, Freebird, go away. You know, you can do whatever you want. No, seriously. But next concert they have, bring a friend. Bring somebody you know. Say, hey, you're gonna love this. That's if you like it. If you hate it, you can still come. But bring a friend next time and share the world of Pan with someone who's maybe never seen it before. How many people in here have never seen steel drums live before? Fantastic. So now you know. The possibilities of this art form are sky's the limit. There's all kinds of stuff happening with steel drums now. It's amazing all over the world. And this tune, Forever Soca, is kind of a rip-off of a lot of different Panorama music I was listening to. Panorama is the Super Bowl of steel drums, and they take they take a song off the radio, a soca or a calypso, and they arrange it for a 150-piece steel band. And you go through like an introduction, you have to go through the original key, you change key, you can have what's called a jam, which is kind of like a repeated course, and then you have solos over solis that are written out. And all of this music in Trinidad, these 10-minute arrangements, are all taught by rote, meaning there's no sheet music. They get together every night from about 10 p.m. till 2 a.m., and someone teaches it to you, like, hey, do this. And then the guy goes, okay, try it, and then pass it down the line. So it takes a while, because it's kind of like a telephone game. They have captains and stuff in each section, and so I was listening to a lot of Phase 2 Pan Group, one of my favorite bands, and this has a lot of Bugsy Sharp in it, influence stuff. Some of it's almost directly ripped off, but it's in a different key. So I hope you enjoy this. This is kind of a high energy panorama style, and I have another one of my mentors, Bernard Woma, who taught me a lot about African music. He had a phrase. There's two things you could do. You could do the chair dance, which is where everything from here down is in the chair, everything from here up can move. Or you can actually get up here and dance, because bad dancing never hurts the earth. So here we go, Forever Soca.